hidden cost to virality. You may be thinking that you want to go viral, you want to blow up, you want to be seen by hundreds and millions of people. But I want you to ask yourself if you're really prepared for that to happen. I recently had a pretty viral moment on TikTok, and as someone who's been trying to grow on that platform for years, in a lot of ways it really felt like finally getting something that I really wanted, but it also came with a lot of things that I just was not prepared for fully. So if you're wanting to grow a platform, if you're waiting for your viral moment, or if you feel like it's something that is right on the cusp for you, then you need to understand what you're getting yourself into. Let's talk about the 3 prices that you might have to pay if you want to go viral. So the first cost of virality is the cost of the ratio. And that means exactly what you think it does. And also something you might not be thinking about. So there are concepts of ratios in every aspect of social media. There's your conversion ratio, the amount of people who watch your content versus who end up following you. There's your like to view ratio, the amount of people who see you but maybe don't engage. And there's the more colloquial ratio that you might be thinking of when somebody comments something on your post and they end up getting more engagement than you did. And all of these ratios are important when we talk about virality, because one thing that is going to be key to remember if you have a viral post, or as you're trying to get that viral post, is that the higher that those numbers are of people watching you, following you, viewing you, the higher they're going to be on the other side. So those negative reactions of people who may shame you or block you or taunt you. And those negative comments can be very triggering, so it's easy to hold on to and remember those more than you remember the positive things. And again, part of that is because of the emotion, but the other part of it when it comes to a viral post is just the sheer amount of volume that you're getting. The more visible you are, the more attention you garner, the more love you get, and the more disagreement you get. And I used this example for a friend recently. She had a post that got 2.5 million views. And of course, along with her thousands of comments of love, there were also a lot of comments of hate or disagreement or just general negative vibes. And I had to do the math for her and say that even if only 1% of those comments were negative, that would still be thousands of comments. And I think it's really important to see that holistically as you think about building a platform, because a lot of people tend to only think about the love and the community, which definitely is there. So it's really the price of numbers just as much as it is the price of the ratio. But for every 10 people who adore you, there's going to be that one person who just doesn't. And that's okay, because that brings us to price number 2, the price of visibility. Something that I still struggle to with this day, and I think it's really common for people to struggle with this, is being fully seen. And I say fully purposefully because a lot of people who even just have the desire to make content have gotten over being physically seen on a camera. But even with not being afraid of being physically seen, they still don't want people to see the truth of who they are. They don't want people to see the mess. They don't want people to see the trauma, the failures. And I think that's very natural, but it needs to be released because at some point or another, with virality, with attention, people tend to dig up those things. So why not let them hear it from you? And they get that then versus now, they get that wisdom that you've learned from what you've been through. And that's one aspect of visibility, but the other aspect is that when you are more visible and when you have a louder frequency, it kind of affects the physics of your likability. And walk with me here, I know that was an insane sentence. So I drew this diagram that kind of helps, and I'll leave it up here so you can see. So many people view likability like this, in that we are one of many dots, each of these dots representing a human being with their own perspective. And sitting amidst this world of differing perspectives and life paths is the truth. And some people may be really close to the truth. Very few people are exactly right on the dot, smack dab in the truth, and many more people float alongside its boundaries. Now, no matter where you sit on this map, you're gonna have some people who are closer in perspective to you, and you're gonna have some people that are way out of your range. And it's not so much this view that people get wrong about likability, but it's scale. Because what we think looks like this actually looks like this. And honestly, it's even bigger because there are 8 billion of us in this world. No matter how right or wrong you are, no matter how wise or naive you are, there are still going to be billions of people who just won't get you. Their perspectives are so far from yours that you're just in completely different regions of this map. And what this activates for a lot of people is the tuning down of that frequency. It activates that fear of being seen. So having people vocally disagree with you can almost cause you to want to shrink and not share. And this is the wrong move, because this is where the real power comes in. If instead of shrinking, if instead of tuning down your frequency, you hold still, you might even become louder. What that does is allow all the other people who can resonate with you to draw even closer. That's the community, that's the growth, when you start drawing in people who are similar to you, who can resonate with you, who can learn from you, be entertained by you, whatever it is that you're trying to do. And of course, the catch is that being extremely likable to your core audience is going to cause you to become unlikable to some others. So ask yourself if you're willing to pay that price. Now, I've saved the most expensive one for last. I'm talking about the cost of feedback. Now, feedback can be a very beneficial thing. Feedback is essentially what keeps people growing and nurturing platforms and building communities. You need to listen to the people who support you. You may even need to listen to people in your extended audience from time to time. And in general, like, you just gotta listen. I mean, if you want people to watch your content. But that feedback will ruin you if you do not have a good sense of self. What I mean by this is having a why, which I think people hear and talk about a lot. You need to understand why it is that you're turning on the camera or writing down the words or making the song. That reason why needs to really benefit you, in turn benefiting other people. What not enough people talk about in addition to the why is how your why then informs the way that you show up. I think if you're making content, if you're a creative in general, you need to have a mission statement, and it needs to be something that can call you back and bring you back when you're getting all of this from the world. It's a truth that anchors you. And if you're having a hard time conceptualizing this, I'll share mine. The truth that I cling on to is I'm a great storyteller, I'm great with words, I'm great with performance. I create content to inspire people, enlighten them, entertain them, and ultimately use my life experience and everything that I am to spark positivity in other people's lives. That's very comprehensive, but don't worry, it took me several years to get to that. Your mission statement can be as simple as you want. It ultimately just needs to be a filter, so that as you're getting any feedback, you can then hold it up against your mission statement, against your why, against your reason for doing this, and if it doesn't align with it, then you can toss it out. And if it does, then maybe you listen. But trust me, especially with the nature of the video that I created, I'll link it in the description for anyone who's interested, but it started a lot of conversation and speculation about myself, my upbringing, my parents, like so many crazy things that had I not been so confident in myself and confident in what I was doing, then it could have really broke me. What were you saying though? Don't let the bastards get you down. My viral moment is only about 2 weeks old, so if anything changes or shifts, I will let you guys know. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.